Hello, Assalamualaikum everyone. My name is Arif Akmal and today we are diving into two essential pillars of corporate finance, which are time value of money and working capital management. Let's start with a fundamental of truth in finance. A ringgit today is worth more than a ringgit tomorrow. Why? Because of this time and compounding interest. If you have money today invested, it grows. This core concept splits into two paths, which are present value, which is discounting a future amount back to today, and future value, which is accumulating wealth over time. As you can see on the example, the left side presents the present value and the right side presents the future value. Let's look at how this works in real time using Sarah's financial goal. So first, present value. Imagine Sarah needs around $2,000 in 5 years for a business license and she finds a plan offering of 6% annual interest. By discounting that amount using our PV formula, we find she only needs to deposit around $1,494.60. The extra $505.40 that she gains is essentially free money generated by bank interest. Now let's flip the scenario to future value. If let's say she decides to invest that $2,000 at a higher rate of 8% interest for 5 years, our formula shows and indicates that her money accumulates around $7,346.64. That extra $2,346.50 is pure compound interest, proving how higher rates speed up wealth accumulation. Next, but what happens when cash flow aren't just a single deposit, but rather a series of equal payments over time? This brings us to annuities, which are pretty much common in mortgages, car loans, and regular saving plans. Take present value annuity. Let's say if you can afford to pay back around $5,000 every year for 5 years at an 8% interest rate. How much can you borrow right now? Using the PVA formula, the maximum amount is $19,963.55. Notice that the bank doesn't hand you a full amount of $25,000 upfront. They have to account for the time value of money. On the other hand, let's take a look at future value annuity. Let's say you deposit around $500 every month for 5 years into an account that earns 15% interest. Because payments are monthly, we adjust our variables. After 60 months of compounding interest working aggressively for you, your total savings will go up to $44,287.25. Now, let's pivot from personal finance to working capital management. This is the process of administrating a firm's current asset and current liabilities to ensure day-to-day liquidity. The golden formula here is net working capital, which equals current assets minus current liabilities. For instance, if a company holds around $90,000 in current assets and owes $60,000 in current liabilities, their net working capital is 30,000 ringgit. By managing this continuous cycle, a business uses cash to buy inventory, turns it into a product, and sells it to create account receivables. So, let us move on asset types and risk strategies. So, to manage this cycle, a firm holds different types of assets. Temporary current assets that fluctuates directly with sales, like seasonal inventory, permanent current assets like safety, cash, stocks, and fixed long-term assets like building or machinery. So, how a company funds these assets depends entirely on its working capital policy strategy. First, an aggressive policy. It targets high profitability but also carries high risk and low liquidity. Second is a moderate policy. It balances right in the middle with medium risk, profitability, and liquidity. Third, a conservative policy, basically played safe, offering high liquidity and low risk, but at the cost of low profitability. Ultimately, a strong working capital policy guarantees business pays its bills on time while maximizing operational efficiency. Understanding your finances helps you grow your personal wealth and also keeps a business thriving. Well, that is all for now. Thank you for your time.